At the party convention over the weekend, the Conservative leader received a resounding 87.4% support to cement his leadership of the Conservative Party. Will this give Conservatives some new momentum? Will Poilievre be able to grow that support amongst Canadians? Let's bring back our Sunday Scrum. Stephanie Levitt's a senior reporter at the Globe and Mail. She is still in Calgary. Catherine Cullen is the host of CBC Radio's The House. She's back in Ottawa. And Rob Shaw is a political correspondent for Czech News, and he joins us from Victoria. Good to see you all again. Catherine, I'm going to start with you. We talked a lot about the big number and how that was, a strong endorsement, gives Poilievre a strong mandate. What happens now? There is some momentum coming out of the convention. People seemed excited. But what does he have to do now to sort of keep that going?
He has a whole host of challenges. And we know that our colleague Olivia Stefanovich talked to the Conservative campaign manager, Steve Outhouse, after this number became public, so in the wee hours over the weekend. He talked about a number of things that they want to do in terms of their schedule, right? We know there's interest in town halls, going across the country, sort of trying to continue with this sense that there's enthusiasm. But the truth is Pierre Poilievre has a whole host of challenges, some of which he has some control over, many of which he does not. You, Rosie, in the reporting you were doing, the broadcasting you were doing over the weekend, talked to Jason Kenney, who said, really liked the speech. One thing it really needed was a direct acknowledgement of Trump, that this is a huge issue for Canadians. Every week there's a new threat that involves our sovereignty, our economy. We know that Mr. Poilievre is likely to have more to say on that topic, but it is difficult to even sometimes get in the conversation for him. There are other factors out there that make things challenging for him as well. The NDP, if that party continues to struggle, of course, they're in the midst of a leadership race right now. We don't know what their political fortunes look like, but without a stronger NDP, things are hard for the Conservatives as well. So he has a number of challenges that he's looking at right now. While Conservatives are really enthusiastic about him, a lot of people who might otherwise think about voting for the Conservatives are not necessarily so keen on him personally. So I think some of that hope conversation you were hearing there is part of their effort at trying to bring some of those people over. But it is going to be a battle, I think.
CBC is still pushing the same storyline. Trump is the villain, and somehow that's Pierre Poilievre's biggest problem. But here's what they gloss over. After months of pushing a narrative that he might lose the Conservative leadership, Poilievre wins with 87% approval. That's not weakness. That's overwhelming support. And even if the Conservative leader wins the next election, look at the mess he'd have to fix after a decade of failed Liberal policies. Meanwhile, Canadians aren't focused on media narratives. They're focused on reality. Gas prices, groceries, paychecks that don't stretch far enough. People feel declining purchasing power, fewer opportunities, and shrinking prospects. Canadians know the difference between talk and action. Tell us what you think. Comment or subscribe.